now. And Eric, if you could, whenever you get a chance, you don't have to at the moment, but just make sure my sound's working good. It should be all lined up. So I want to start.
Still waiting for a notification.
Awesome. It should be on now. My camera is all jacked up here. Should be straight now. So tonight at 8 o'clock Central,
I got my notification.
or 8 Eastern, actually, so 7 Central, Joe Biden and the shit show crew will be hosting their State of the Union speech. Like I was just telling you, John, I was writing an article trying to get it out before the State of the Union speech started, trying to give like a play-by-play on everything Biden was going to say, because I think I can almost read his mind on what he's going to talk about. We know for a fact he's going to make a large portion of it about Ukraine and Russia. He's already said that. That's fine. I get it. We know he's going to come out. He's going to condemn what is going on, which, the whole condemning thing, I don't really understand that. It's kind of a big joke to me. You're just going to say, oh, we don't like what you're doing. What'd they do? What is condemning something? It just shows you it's disapproval, but why do you need meetings to do that? You ever wonder that? Our Congress does it too, but also the UN and the EU and NATO get together and they vote to condemn an act of something. It's just showing that they're in agreement, that they don't like what's going on.
It makes you wonder, what would he have talked about if if it hadn't happened? This is supposed to be the United States State of the Union.
So that's a good point, right? Now I have some written down. I came up with 10 categories that I think he could still hit on. But he won't do it as much now. I don't. What's he going to talk for? Maybe 30 minutes, if that. Well, how long do they normally last? It depends. I guess he's talking. I don't think we will have Pelosi ripping up any speech transcripts, unfortunately. That was very inappropriate, but funny at the same time. Shows how stupidly rude she is.
And you also have to wonder why, too, Michael, why she was never brought up on ethics charges for doing that.
I believe she was. Didn't they? Didn't the House Ethics Committee do something with that? It's just a slap on the wrist. Here's the thing.
I would imagine it was another case closed.
Well, have you ever gone and looked up? So you can go and look up, what they condemn or that whole ethics thing and the ethics complaint against representatives. It's all on that GovTracker website, I believe. And look at each one's record and stuff. Half of them get some. Do you know how many Democrats got arrested for protesting in those riots during 2020? That are elected officials? Like 10. And the entire Texas Democratic elected officials got arrested too, basically. Remember when they decided to leave the state and fly to Washington to protest? So there's a lot of things that goes on that you don't realize. Did you know in the Constitution it says that if a member is committing a misdemeanor, not a felony, but a misdemeanor, to or from a meeting, that they can't be charged for it? It actually has that in the Constitution. And someone will have to look up the exact writing, but again, the main part of his speech tonight is going to be Russia-Ukraine. The second part, he has to get on there and beat his chest about something. Here's what I imagine he's going to talk about. He's going to bring up the infrastructure bill. He's going to bring up how he ended the war in Afghanistan. He's going to bring up his unemployment rate. COVID, yes, you're right. He's going to bring up about ending the mask mandate and getting COVID under control. He's going to bring up how he cut child poverty by 40%. He's going to bring up inflation, but he's only going to bring up inflation when he's talking about the Build Back Better plan and trying to get the Build Back Better plan passed. And
now they're actually looking at trying again to get the monthly child stimulus payments going again.
So that's
the child tax credit.
Yeah, because that's a part of the Build Back Better deal. He's trying to extend that, right? The problem he's going to run in with there is that will completely blow the cost of that bill out of the water. It goes from, having pretty close offsets, maybe, to being extremely expensive over the next 10 years if he does that. That and then the earned income credit as well. But the child care credit, which is not the child care credit, the child tax credit, it's a form of redistribution of wealth. And it makes it it brings the cost up to like $5 trillion in 10 years. It's an enormous amount of money that goes into that. And what else do I have written down here? So I have unemployment, child poverty, inflation will be with the Build Back Better deal. He's going to talk about GDP growth. We didn't have record GDP growth, by the way, but we did have GDP growth last year. Infrastructure, and if he wants to, he can talk about the stock market. Now, Biden has consistently said that he doesn't talk about the stock market because he thinks that the stock market is not indicative of economic growth. That's actually wrong. It's a great indicator of economic growth. Now, is it the end-all, be-all? No. But everyone suffers when the stock market's doing bad. And I'm suffering.
Yeah, but then it's also said by a lot of, analysts right now that we're in the biggest bubble that we've ever been in.
We could be,
it's not
absolutely.
just a specific type of bubble. It's an everything bubble.
Yeah. It's
just because it's like, companies like Robinhood exist now, and you don't have to have a ton of money to invest anymore. You can literally invest $5.
So the whole bubble thing, you can go back and forth on the bubble stuff, and there's a lot in the market because the market is such a everything's unknown in the future, right? We all have our opinions on the market, which way it's going to go, what it's going to do, blah blah blah. It's like economics; it's all theoretical. It can all be argued. When it comes to the bubble, you can argue, well, yeah, everything is inflated, or everything is overvalued, but you can also argue that it's not because when you buy shares on the market, it's supply and demand. There's no such thing as overbought or oversold, okay? Because you had the market of the buyer and the seller that's making those two transactions. Someone saw the value in buying it, and someone saw the lack of value in selling it. As far as the bubble's concerned, when you bring up like Robinhood and a substantial amount of new money that is coming to the marketplace, well, that money's in there. Those people are wanting to invest. Therefore, that is the new status quo at that point. Does that make sense? If to say that, oh, we're in a bubble because it's overinflated past, let's say, this baseline number, well, then you're saying that no matter what, the market should always have that much money going in and out of it, and anytime new money comes in, it's inflating the market. But over time, new money's always going to come in. So I don't like that statement of, oh, because we have all these new investors, now the market's overinflated. Well, no, it's just the new normal. Because there's just going to be more and more people that are...
It's overinflated. It's that people, now everybody has access to it. So it does change the game a little bit.
It does.
And it's all, it's going to offset things for a while and
it is
till the market adjusts to it. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's a good way to put it. It will make things more volatile. We saw that during COVID. Obviously, there were reasons why it was volatile, but that's when you started seeing this drastic amount of money come into the market and flood the markets from everybody, not just wealthy people, but from just random people, right? With the whole Robinhood thing and all that. You saw what happened with GameStop. You saw what happened with what is happening with AMC still. So does that cause volatility? Yes. Does it cause bubbles and things to be overvalued? Yes. And it's like you take a blanket, right? And you whip it like a wave, like you're trying to get it out over your bed. And the first, wave of that is big, but it gets smaller as it gets to the end, right? That's the same thing as the market. It'll be really volatile, and then it smooths out, and then it starts again. And people literally will trade just off the volatility in the market, which isn't a bad way to go about it. However, right now the market is negative for the year. I don't know the exact numbers. I know the other day when I looked, which was last week, and that was before we had a good day, but we had a couple bad days since then. It was down like 11% for the year. It may be about the same, 11, maybe a little more than 11% for the year so far. That's the S&P. I don't know what the Dow's down. I think the NASDAQ is about the same, but I could be wrong too.
If you look at a lot of the bigger companies on there for the 3-month trend, there is some substantial losses in there.
Yes.
Especially on larger companies.
Yeah, so when I look at the returns, like, and how the market's doing, S&P is the big indicator, right? That's the largest 500 publicly traded companies in the United States. The NASDAQ, I believe, is it's a lot more companies, but it's I don't think there's any financial companies in the NASDAQ. I could be wrong. I can't remember what makes up the NASDAQ, and I should know this. The Dow is made up of 30 companies. That's why the Dow's not necessarily a good indicator. Now, they're very big companies, but it can be weighted differently. It's a formula they use that gets that. But so the S&P is really your benchmark. That's what most mutual funds will benchmark things to as well. And the S&P was down 11%. Now, like you said, Kentucky, a lot of those companies in the S&P still have done a lot worse. Like a lot of the tech companies have had, I've seen some 50+% losses. Easy. Some more.
Yeah, and I mean, you can even look at Facebook, for example. They've done real well over the past few years just because of their marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at them.
Well, Facebook is for a different reason. Because they lost a lot of users. It was the first time in their history that they lost users. So that's a whole different deal with them. Sorry guys, I was not reading the chats yet. Now I'm back up looking at the Podbean chats. I was over there on Facebook. But he's not going to bring the market up. I don't think he could, because it did do well last year. Even after inflation, I believe it still did about a 13% return. Give or take, which is good, very good. If you made 13% every year, you'd be a millionaire if you invested rightly. By retirement age, guys, not immediately. But let me debunk some of these things first, and then we'll get into the Ukraine-Russia deal. Stock market's negative. It's not only negative, but inflation keeps rising, which means it's more negative than what it shows, because you have to adjust it for inflation, those returns. GDP did do, it was up for the whole year last year, but I don't know we'll see what it ends up being this quarter. Child poverty, he may have cut it in 1 year, the 40%, but it's not anymore. It's right back to what it was because they haven't extended the child tax credit. So that's over with. I don't see, he can brag about it all he wants, but it's not there anymore. He's not going to address inflation as a whole. Again, it's going to talk about how Build Back Better will minimize inflation. I just said that all weird. Go ahead.
Did the the advanced tax payments, is that what helped out with child poverty?
That is what lowered it. Yeah, that's what because
I was going to say there's a lot of families that don't qualify for the full credit. Obviously, throughout that time, everybody got the full credit.
Yeah, so it depends on your income, I think. But it's a pretty vast range there for everyone to qualify, and also how much you've got depending on the age of your children.
Yeah, well, this year, I'll be honest with you, man. This year is the biggest fucking tax return I've ever got in my life.
If you don't mind me asking, did you get those tax credits last year?
Yeah. And here's the thing: when you're filing on your taxes and it asks you about that, you type in how much you received, and then it counts that as income. I don't know what's going on with it, but it counted it as income. We're getting back like $12,000.
So now I'm asking because I don't know. I haven't seen any of my clients' returns yet with this, but I've seen some people on Facebook talking about how they're getting less back as a return. You're saying that child tax credit counted as income for you, or deducted?
Well, it's because income? A lot of people aren't putting it in correctly. Okay, because it's a new thing, and I got on. I did some research. I read all the fine print with it, and basically the gist of it said, enter here the amount of child tax credit that you received in advance. Well, I typed in how much I received in advance, and it added like $4,000 to my tax return.
You're kidding.
No, I'm being serious. And I mean, we received like over $5,000 over the course of those 6 months.
Yeah.
Because we got 3 young kids. So
it's giving you more back. I don't. Yeah. I don't. Maybe I'm not.
It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me either.
I don't think it's supposed to work.
I read the fine print with it. It was pretty self-explanatory.
Well, I mean, hey, I can't say that. Otherwise, I'm going to get shut down by my regulatory things. But that's odd. I can't even comprehend why that would be. Why you would get more money back on your tax return after getting more money back and paying less taxes last year.
Yeah, see, I figured it was going to take a chunk out, and then it just bumped it up, and I was just like, okay.
Look, I know for the people that received it, it's nice. But here's the thing. Trump had the same thing with the child tax credit. Now, Biden expanded on that in his first stimulus bill, okay? What he did is he made it refundable, so you didn't have to pay any taxes at all to get it. When it was under Trump, you had to the tax credit only deducted from the amount of taxes that you owed to the IRS. And if you didn't owe any, then you didn't get the tax credit. That's how it should be. If you don't pay taxes, why do you need to get money back from the IRS? Because the IRS only gives you back, at least that's how it was before Biden, whatever you paid to them, right? There's no new money that is created here. That's what a tax return is. A tax return just means you paid too much money throughout the year, and the IRS is giving it back. It's an interest-free loan that you gave to the government. I hate tax returns, especially when, like Kentucky, you just said $5,000. I tell people you need to change up what you're doing throughout the year, because you could have already had all that money when you were getting paid, instead of giving it to the government. You wouldn't lend me money without interest, right? You wouldn't lend.
Right.
I mean, very few people would you ever lend money to without interest. You go and you borrow money from the bank, they charge you interest. Well, why should you give up your money to the government as an interest-free loan just so they can give it back to you, principal only, a year later? You shouldn't. You could have had throughout the year. So
I don't claim anybody, like, when it comes to like my pay from my job. And I just do that just so that I can get that tax return at the end of the year, because it's like, oh, hey, look, my money.
Yeah. But you're really breaking even, right?
Yeah. I mean, in the end, yeah, you're still breaking even, because, you still get the earned income credit for the kids and everything. And you're getting back what you paid in. You're not getting anything extra, really. Yeah. It's just like, it's like a forceful way of making yourself save up a little bit for whatever.
And I get it. Everyone's different, right? And I'm not here to criticize anything. I'm just saying how I look at it, especially when I see people that, because I've met with people that have struggled throughout the year, but come to find out they're getting $2,000, $3,000 tax returns. It's like, well, you could up your income, $300 a month. And ideally, you want to. I think it's very efficient if you're owing the IRS about $100. If your tax return's usually less than $1,000, then we don't really mess with it. But if you're over $1,000, then you can change things up and give you a little bit of extra income. It would not change your life one bit. You just don't get the tax return at the end of the year.
Yeah, well, and another thing a lot of people don't do is, I mean, you are allowed to claim on your taxes a certain amount of cash donations, and And I mean, I always claim that because, I mean, truth be told, every time I see the Salvation Army out there for Christmas and Thanksgiving and all that, I always give them money.
Yeah.
And
you should.
I claim a little bit more than what I say I do.
Well, hey, don't.
It's cash. It's cash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm not here to have the IRS on me, but the other Ground Live, he said something earlier. He said he'd made too much money, and I think that's so crazy because if he made too much money, I can assume that he actually paid more income taxes than 90% of the U.S. because the majority of people don't pay income taxes, and he's the one paying, but he didn't get that redistribution in that tax credit because he made too much. But someone who didn't pay anything, right, got more money back than they paid into it. That's not fair. Really, it's a very unfair. It's seeming fair because of how much money a family is making. Other Ground said he made, let's say, I don't know, $250,000, and he's got 3 kids. Well, he didn't qualify for a tax credit. But someone else who's making $50,000 with 3 kids, who's not paying any income taxes, he's making more money, but he's also paying the IRS more too. It's all relative to me. I'm a capitalist. I don't like the whole redistribution of wealth deal. I don't. What's up, Mama Bear? And
I don't believe in redistribution of wealth. I hate that idea because I believe if you earn it, it's yours. You worked for it,
Yeah.
And there's it. So what? I know a lot of people get mad, like, oh, well, why should Elon Musk have so much money? Well, you know what? He started out with nothing, just like a lot of people did.
Yep.
So, I mean, would you really fucking share all your money?
No. That's the thing. Why are we penalizing hard work?
People are like, well, he should donate 5% of his money. I'm just like, well, you just gonna go give every homeless person that you see $5 out of your $100 that you have? No, you're probably not.
Exactly.
So why should he?
It's all relative.
You know what I mean?
It's all relative. Think about the value Elon Musk has added to the world. He's added enough value that shareholders, because most of his money is in stock in his own company, he's added enough value that shareholders are wanting to go and buy that stock because of the future outlook of the company and what it has to possibly provide in the future and is providing now, right? That's how it is for every company when shareholders go and buy it. Yeah, you buy shares of a company because you think you're going to make money. You think that company is going to go up in price, the value of that share, for whatever reason it may be. But for whatever reason it is, when you buy that share, you're taking on ownership in that company and you see some sort of value. I've never met anyone that buys a share of stock to lose money. Now, 90% of the people end up losing money when they buy shares of stock because they sell it too early. The whole day trading thing. But the purpose for anyone that's buying shares is not doing it to lose money. And when it comes to Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, they have created so much value that people have wanted to go and buy those shares and drive that price up. You cannot fault them for the 90% of their wealth that's held in their own company for shooting through the roof. How is that fair? Like Zuckerberg, right? Look how much money he lost when Facebook took this hit it just took. Is it $25 billion he lost or more now?
Yeah, well, he lost like $20 billion in one day.
Yeah, just himself. That's his net worth because of his holdings in Facebook. It's not because of his holdings in other companies. It's because of his holdings in Facebook. Now, I don't like Zuckerberg. I think he's an ass, and I don't like the way he runs Facebook. But he has, like I went on in the beginning, Facebook has added a substantial amount of value for myself and my own business. So why should I want him to pay so much in taxes because I'm using his platform and making money off of his platform? Who am I to go and complain about how much money he's worth? I'm not. I can't.
Well, truthfully, it's nobody's business how much money anybody has.
Exactly. Oh,
I mean, if he's rich, he's rich.
I don't even know who just called in. I think it was Jester maybe trying to call in or someone was. Go ahead and call back in. I wasn't on Podbean. I caught the tail end of that. Whoever was just calling in. But He said, except the government's business. But the government's business is they're using our money for it, and they're not asking us. Like, I'm not voluntarily paying the government, Jester. That's the difference, right? A company is going to use my money when I buy shares to go and innovate and invest back into the company, but I'm voluntarily buying those shares. The government's actually taking it from me. Exactly, Jester. It's theft by definition, honestly. Taxes are. Which, I've said this before, a voluntary tax would never get paid in the United States. Ever. By anyone. No one would pay taxes voluntarily. That's just my opinion. Now, so we hit on the child poverty thing. Infrastructure is in place. They got that passed. Okay, so he's got that win. I guess if you want to call it a win. It's a waste of money, probably. Inflation's still going up. Now we have gas prices going up, which is going to really hurt inflation.
Yeah, well, it's going to further increase inflation, really.
Yep.
Because gas is going to get more expensive, then it's going to cost more to transport food, then they're going to have to raise the price of food. Yep. Food is going to get more expensive. Yep. And then gas is just going to keep getting more expensive as long as this Russia-Ukraine conflict is going on.
Oil was up $105 a barrel today.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, right when Russia invaded Ukraine, everything spiked about 5 to 10%.
Yep, it was up another 8% today. 8% it was up today. Now, I want you to think about this. Joe Biden tried to do the whole green thing, and immediately when he came into office, what did he do? He shut down production. Now, he didn't shut it down completely. We're still producing our own oil, but I think we're producing, 500 and some thousand, we're producing 500 some thousand barrels a day, and we import another 800,000 from Russia. Is it?
It's roughly 500,000 that we import from Russia, and then we also recently started importing oil from, I think, Iraq.
Yeah, I think that's all the OPEC thing, right?
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia, Iran, not Iran, but Iraq, Qatar is another big one. But apparently, we could pump about 12 million barrels a day, is what I saw, is what I've heard people talking about. We can completely supplement our own supply, and if not the entire European supply, we could definitely supplement what they're getting from the Middle East and what Russia was given to Europe. That would be a huge revenue raiser for the United States. We would not only become oil dependent or energy independent, but we'd be making money. Gas prices would go way down. And this would solve all of it. Think about what Biden did. He tries to go green. He cuts production. And he cuts production knowing that Russia is moving troops to the Ukrainian border and that there could be an issue. Like, this started back in, March, April, May, when Russia started mobilizing people over towards Ukraine. And it started really building up after the Afghanistan deal. Trump has a video. Well, I'm sure all of you... Good.
You want to know what's funny is all the green movement that Biden wanted to do. You want to know the biggest player in green energy that he never even spoke with? Elon Musk. Never even spoke with him.
Yeah.
That should say something right there.
Exactly. You know? Yeah. Well, what did he... Oh, that's another thing, though. As far as value that people are adding, what is allowing Ukraine to have internet connection right now and phone connection and all that?
Elon Musk.
Exactly. Elon Musk, not the government, Elon Musk donated those Starlink satellites out of his own pocket. And you're going to get on Elon Musk. Come on. But going back to this Russia deal, we're in a situation where Biden has allowed, well, Biden didn't allow it with the European companies being dependent on Russian oil. That wasn't Biden that started that. But Trump brought up that issue, and damn if his foresight wasn't 100% correct. He literally told the German delegates at that time, why should we protect you when you're in bed with Russia? We're paying to protect you from Russia. You're not paying your fair share in NATO. But you're in bed with Russia. They have leverage over you. And it took until now for Germany to say, okay, we're going to ramp up our NATO contributions. Really? Germany should have been paying the most since the beginning, in my opinion. They're 75% of the reason why we're in the positions we're in right now in Europe. Would everyone not agree? So, not only did we help rebuild Western Germany, we allowed them to become dependent on Russian oil. An enemy. We chose as the country, we chose to treat Russia like an enemy. I've gone over this whole situation. All of this could have been avoided, but we have chosen to make Russia the enemy. Then why would we allow our allies to be dependent on them? And I'm getting
something I've actually contemplated thought about, about how things have gone over the past 10 years. Why have we actually, made Russia out to be the bad guy? Because, I mean, in the recent years, they weren't really all that terrible.
They haven't
had dealings with them and made things better, strengthened the relationship.
Yes, so I took criticism.
I feel like the United States feeds off of having an enemy.
We do. Well, there's reasons for that. We'll get into it. Before John Gale show, I was in another show. I think it was T-Gun show. And it but someone brought up to me and said that, I've said that I've been taking Putin's side with this whole thing. And let me correct everyone here. I am not taking Putin's side with invading Ukraine. Okay? What's going on in Ukraine right now is a travesty. And I am extremely happy, especially as an American. Every American citizen should be on Ukraine's side because you are literally witnessing the modern version of the American Revolution play out. You have citizens that are taking up arms to defend their freedom. All right? And I know Raccoon agrees with me. We'll get Raccoon in here in a few minutes. I would like him to call in here in a little bit. But you have a foreign invasion, all right, trying to, I mean, Russia came in and said, we're going to declare independence for Luhansk and Donetsk regions. Again, that's like Mexico saying we're going to declare independence for the southeastern or southwestern portion of Texas and Arizona. And when we do that, we're going to move our military, 200,000 soldiers and tanks and jets, into this area for peacekeeping operations. What do you think we would do? We'd do what Ukraine's doing, right? Yeah, no, I don't think so. But leading up into the invasion and going back to what Trump has said about this invasion, Trump did not say he agreed with Putin invading Ukraine, but after the invasion started, all right? He did say that statement, though, before the invasion started. Because Trump was actually understanding on what Putin was, where he was coming from. Now, I think Putin has gone mental and way over the top here. He did not do this the proper way. And I hope he gets his ass kicked. And he is getting his ass kicked. But there's two sides to every conflict. Okay? And we, and other people agree with this, ever since the fall of the Soviet Union, and I say Democratic presidents because it is true, you can go back and listen to the narratives between Republican and Democratic presidents towards Vladimir Putin. Bill Clinton told him to go screw himself when he asked if what he thought about him joining NATO. Putin asked to join NATO. The only thing he didn't want was to sit in line behind countries like Latvia and Estonia. I would agree that that's fair. Why should Russia have to stand behind? Why would we not have Russia in NATO? Because we all know who the bigger enemy is. The bigger enemy is China. Russia was trying to go down the road towards the capitalism route. Now I think they're going to go backwards. But why would we not want them a part of NATO? Furthermore, they asked to join the European Union, told Putin to go screw himself. So what's he doing this whole time? They keep pounding him and pounding him and pounding him. We have made Russia out to be the enemy. And not only have we made him out to be the enemy, we had Trump in there who was a little more open to, building a relationship with him. But also at the same time was telling him, if you screw up, we're going to blow you away. Think about this. They took Crimea in 2014. Now, 95% of the Crimean population wanted to be a part of Russia. That wasn't an invasion, okay? But they still went in there. They took Crimea. I think Putin thought that the same thing would happen in Ukraine, but it's not. He definitely overplayed his hand there. But he didn't try and do this when Trump was in office. Why? Because everyone knew Trump was unpredictable. Hell, half the people thought Trump was going to start blowing the world up. God, looking back now, weren't they wrong?
Well, the upside about Trump's 4 years as the president is no new wars or conflicts started under his watch, and the time he went and to go have negotiations with Kim Jong-un of North Korea, I think the legacy media and liberal Democrats and rhinos just literally lost their shit about that, and there's even an argument with this whole Russia-Ukraine war conflict about is Putin for the New World Order or is he against the New World Order? And that's, for anybody who might be wondering, the proposed one world government system that does away with the nation state system that we've known for so long.
Yeah, and Eric,
Eric,
go ahead.
You go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I was just going to say, Eric, I saw that video that with the Ukrainian Congress member, parliament member.
Parliament member.
Yeah. Look,
which I don't know if you had a time to look at it, and
I've seen it on the news.
Come to any kind of reasonable conclusion.
Yeah. I've seen it in a few other places. And she says about the New World Order and blah blah blah. I think the New World Order means different things to some people than it does others. Look, I'm not for this one world order thing. I know the Bushes were all about that. I know, Clintons and Obama, they were all about that, right? Trump wasn't. Here's the thing.
And so, well, the Bushes were too, because back in 1990, George H.W. Bush, when he was president, did an Oval Office address talking about, the need for a new world order. And then you could even look up headlines, according to Henry Kissinger, the former Secretary of State under Richard Nixon, about the need for a new world order. And one thing he said about the one world government is that, in his own words, the world must forge a new order, retreat to chaos. If we don't have one world government, the wars and conflicts are going to continue, which that really should tell you who the real warmongers are.
Yeah, I mean, all these conflicts are going to continue regardless because there's going to be all these separatist regions that
absolutely
don't want to be part of it.
Look, we're human. We are human. We have been fighting since the beginning of time. We will fight till the end of time. We are literally
Adam and Eve.
Yeah, exactly. They probably fought each other. Who knows? But war's been around forever. For as long as humans, at least the modern version of what we know of a human is, whether you think we're from aliens or evolved here or whatever your belief is, we've been fighting since the beginning of that. We will continue to fight. Yeah. Animals fight. Now, they might not hold wars like we do, but here's the thing. Every animal is territorial. Okay? Every animal fights over women. All right? Every animal fights. They fight. And they kill each other.
Hey, Mike.
What's up, Raccoon?
Eric, I actually agree with you in a sense. Like, what if? I mean, wouldn't it be a fucking huge ass conspiracy if Putin is actually fighting against the New World Order and the media is just playing it out to be like, oh my God, Russia's this big bad whatever. I doubt that that's the case. But I mean, you never know. There's always a possibility.
I want to
some hidden underlying issue.
Raccoon, I know you wanted to say something. I did want to do something real quick, and I don't mean to. I know you're waiting, but give me 1 second. They haven't shut down Russian media here in the United States yet. Okay, you can go on TASS, which is the Russian news agency. It's their primary one. Okay, and if you go on Google, it's TASS. TASS.com, but it's a blue logo with TASS in it. Read their headlines. There's one they talk about the nuclear stuff, and I can read that article. But look, our news also promotes propaganda. We know this. In fact, it's coming out now because like those 13 people on the island we discussed earlier, Raccoon, they ended up not being dead. Now, it's still brave of them to say go fuck yourself to the Russian Navy boat, but at the same time, they're not dead, right? And we were told that they were. The whole Miss Ukraine thing, she's holding an airsoft gun, they're saying that she's defending herself. Could she be? I don't know, but that picture, she's not with no airsoft gun, right?
So it's awfully fucking staged.
Yeah. Like when they have President Zelensky with body armor on, right? That's a picture from last year. Him going to the front visiting, because they've been fighting a war there since 2014. Now, but we know Zelensky is staying there. Here's the thing. Go look at the headlines of the Russian media site. All right. What they're saying, like with the whole nuclear deal, they are saying that, where's it at? Hold on. I don't know if you guys can hear that noise. I'm sorry. But
I think with tonight's discussion, Michael, I'm just going to probably ask this question. Where is Bahram when we need him?
Yeah. Well,
but we're going to get to Raccoon in a moment after you're finished.
Yeah, Raccoon fills that void pretty good, I'd say. Here it is. It says, presence of U.S. nuclear weapons in Europe unacceptable. Russia calls to remove... Oh, no, that's not a one. It was basically saying that they may be forced to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine. This headline. Now, this is their news that they're proving to get published. And I'm reading this, and I'm like, it literally sounds like they stole the script from George Bush with the whole Iraq invasion. Yep. It's no different.
I mean, if Ukraine keeps kicking their butts the way they are, and they really, really want Ukraine, I wouldn't put them past, say, nuking Kiev,
Well, we're going to get into this too.
They won't be nuking anybody, people, because here's the deal with nuclear weapons. We have enough weapons to blow the earth up 24 times. If one nuke goes up and it's caught, and everybody unleashes theirs because it's the end of the world, once it starts, there ain't going to be a bomb shelter you can stay in because you got to come out sooner or later to a devastated earth. Okay. And the other thing, look who's pulling the freaking purse strings. It's not us. It's not Europe. It's a freaking Rothschild banking, who is also in cahoots with the Jewish bankers down in Jerusalem, also with the Vatican. They all own this damn world by debt. Okay.
Now,
the bullshit has gotten to the point to where people don't want to look at what is really happening. And it's not us going to war. Shit, fire. If they went in there on their doctrine, let me tell you something. There wouldn't be anything left of Ukraine right now because their doctrine is go in and bomb the shit out of it, then unleash the artillery, and we'll go in there looking for survivors. That's their damn war agenda. And it hasn't changed since 1917.
Yeah, I agree.
And people are wrapped around the axle about this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It's all a goddamn big smokescreen because our people who's running our country wants to steal more money by raising the goddamn inflation up on everything, raping us of all of our goods and services, and then turning us into a communist country because unarmed people get on the train a hell of a lot easier than people who have weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's what you got to get to. And Mike, I know you're in the stock markets, but when the stock market crashes, who keeps the money?
Oh, the wealthy do. I'm not denying that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The wealthy think that they don't have anything to worry about. But in communism, when your worth is up, when you said all you can say to help the society turn to that portion of communism, once that's over, guess what happens? Your ass dies and gets towed into the daggone hole with the rest of the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And they bury you with a bulldozer.
Yeah.
Only the leaders, whoever those may be, and they won't be from here in the United States, will be the only ones left with their minions that they decided are true enough to do what they're told without any forethought, any critical thinking, or none of that shit. They follow along like puppets, and they are pulling the puppet strings. Right now, our whole goddamn government is nothing but a bunch of puppet strings, and they're pulling on them left and right, getting people to get all jacked up on fear porn.
Mm-hmm.
By Friday, you're going to see a whole different thing. Because, yes, it can't go on. And I feel sorry for the people over there, but it's not what we think it is because too many people are infected with fear porn.
Mm-hmm.
You see this stuff on there? Yeah, there's people getting killed. In war, casualties happen.
Mm-hmm.
Military and civilian. That's part of war.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that the leaders have to take on. But when you have people who going out there and they have a timeline on their films showing today, and there ain't shit going on. People are going about their normal lives in all these damn towns that are supposed to be bombed.
You brought up a good point. Let me hit
it's
on
all
that.
Bullshit. It's all bullshit.
If you go on YouTube and you type in Kiev, you can see the live feed of the city. Okay.
I watched it, and it's on a 1 hour damn
loop. Right?
Loop.
So I saw one where they had multiple camera views. There's like 9 different ones. 7 of them were in the daytime. 2 were in the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here. I'm like, it's 6:30 there because on Fox News they keep track of the. They show you the time that it is in Kiev, right? And they have the guy there. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, it's 6:30 there in Kiev. It's daylight. Why is half of them in the dark, right? And it's from the same city. So I get that.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not denying
it's all to direct us. It's all to direct us into the fear porn and get ready for the end of the world is all they're harping right now. If they decide they want to throw nuclear weapons, we'll be done. If we have a damn high altitude blowout, okay?
Mm-hmm. An EMP, yeah. It's
going to be by our own freaking country. Our own government's going to do it because we'll be the only ones affected by it. But nobody will be able to say shit because they know the United States cannot be taken by any military in the world.
No, we can't.
Because we own 3/4 of the weapons in the damn world are in private hands.
Yeah.
We got people who own planes. They own bombers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys own tanks and artillery pieces, and they got the shit to go with them.
Yeah.
And if you got the veterans, hell, veterans been there. He'll show you how to use that bad boy.
Which is funny. That's what they're doing in Ukraine. I don't know if you saw that, but
no, that's all bullshit. Let me tell you, you give somebody 3 days worth of damn training on a weapon, send them in. Half of them are going to get shot in the back by the people behind them because they don't know how to work the damn weapon.
Yeah.
We weren't even allowed to use blanks for the first 2 weeks in military basic training because they didn't want them popping off and then going, who shot? Where was your weapon pointed?
Yeah, well,
none of that's going on. And
they're
showing kids with weapons. The Democrats should be going ape shit over that.
You would think, right?
But they're not.
No, and to touch on that, everyone after this in the United States should be a Second Amendment advocate. Everyone, but they won't be because they don't realize what's going on, right? But everyone.
That's because.
Go ahead.
That's because we've been roped into a democracy. The United States is not a damn democracy. Democracy means mob rule, which means if you get anybody out there to vote on your plan, then that's good. We don't have to take it to the other people.
Yep.
And that's what they do in Congress.
Yep.
You will vote for my bill, or we're going to ban you from voting for the next 5 bills. And I know you got one coming up, so vote for my bill. And they do that shit.
Yeah.
Some people who don't vote for it, you don't see them again in their voting, or you never see their name coming up or called for a daggone visual vote. We're a republic. It's supposed to go to the people and say, how do you people want us to go?
Yep.
And they brought on a ballot. It's not by the damn House. The definition of a Congress is a group of frickin' baboons. Okay? Look it up. You'll see it.
That's funny.
Look up Congress. It'll tell you a group of baboons, and then it'll say U.S. government organization.
No way. Let me see.
I'm serious. Heart attack.
Hold on. It doesn't, when you look it up on Google, it just says coming together, a society organization. Doesn't say anything about the baboons. But I can see,
don't look on Google.
don't look on Google. Tell me.
Go to the hard stuff. Go to paper book and look at it. Or go to some other search engine and you'll see it. Google's manipulated.
Urban Dictionary will tell you what you want to know.
New World Order. We know that.
Look, regardless, I don't know what the severity of everything going on. But I do know it's real. Okay, and that people are dying. People are dying. And it's sad to see. And I hope they whoop Russia's ass. But, like I said on John's show earlier, our defense contractors are sitting back and licking their chops at the fact that our technology is over there blowing Russian technology away. They have been wanting to see this since 1949 when the Cold War started. That was the whole point. And think about it. Our entire military has evolved around fighting the Russians. And now we get a chance.
The Russians and the Chinese.
Now the Chinese,
Russians
but not always.
Chinese in the Middle East.
Yeah, but Russian, for the most part, for the majority since 1949, it's always been Russia. And now we actually have a chance where Russia is launching a full-scale invasion against a ally, right? That we can justify.
That's what you want to call somebody.
I know.
Who can't get into an organization because they have 11 biolabs in their country who are financed and manned by the majority of scientists there from the United States. Okay, by the Nuremberg Agreement, by the UN's own accord, and by the Geneva Convention. That is not supposed to be going on anywhere in the world. That's why they're not in either one of those organizations. That's why everybody say, well, we need to help them, but they're not here in our unit. Should we spend money on them? Should we just let them fight it out?
So if they were going to hit that
sucker, they would have been done last week, Mike.
Yeah, so you brought a good point up, right? And Seeker said finally someone brings up the labs. I saw an article on the lab deal. I have not read it yet. All right, so just that's why I don't bring it up. But Raccoon did. I'm more than positive Raccoon has definitely looked into that. But that's why I just haven't commented on it. Okay, but like you said, why didn't we let him join NATO? Well, because we knew what that would bring. We knew that this would cause a war. Because we knew Russia didn't want to join NATO. Right? Now, think about this. Why haven't they joined the European Union? Now, the European Union is taking votes on whether or not to add them into Ukraine into the EU. Oh, so you're just going to add countries when they're getting their fucking people blown away, but you didn't care about adding them before that. Think about that. And that bothered me today. You only care about this country when
they never recognize Ukraine as a sovereign government.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't care what the reason is.
Government.
I don't care what the reason is.
Well, still, you have to be a sovereign, documented government to get in.
They denied Russia.
And back when they were making that decision, They had a man running over there who was basically a genocidal maniac. He was killing everybody. Mm-hmm. Finally, he got taken out of the situation, but they never petitioned the damn UN to get sovereignty for government. We put that government in place, not Russia, not Europe, and it's all to fight over their natural resources. They have resources abundantly there because their country has not been scraped like the other countries have.
Not yet. But it doesn't matter what the reason is. You didn't let them join the EU. All the way until now. Because I'm assuming that Ukraine has asked to join the European Union before this. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. Maybe my facts are wrong. But I'm assuming if they asked to join NATO, then they were also on board with being in the EU. So you're just going to take a vote and consider it now that everyone's dying there. You didn't give a damn about that economy or those people before that. You didn't give a damn about it. Why does it now? Why are you going to jump through hoops now to support them when you could have supported them the entire time? That goes back to what? Obama gave them a bunch of blankets, remember? Why didn't we sell them all the material and weapons that we left in Iraq? Or not Iraq, Afghanistan a couple months ago. Think about the waste of our military. And Raccoon, you know this better than anyone, right? The waste of our military. Oh, it costs more money to bring it back. It doesn't cost more money to send it to Ukraine, which isn't that damn far.
They probably would have went over there and picked it up if we told them.
Yeah. I guarantee you they would have. Or someone would have.
It's all a sleight of hands. Look over here, not over here, because we ain't ready for you to look at that yet.
Yeah. I mean,
it did cure COVID. I mean, we do have to hand that to it.
Yeah, right. I can't wait to. I mean, look, Biden's on right now. I don't know if anyone's going to watch it. I wanted to watch it. I'll probably go watch it afterwards. But I forgot. I thought it was at 8 Central for whatever reason, not 8 Eastern. But look, okay. Seeker may allow you to call in if you wish to. Yeah, Seeker can call in. Absolutely. Look, I've been going back and forth on Podbean.
I was letting Seeker know you may allow him to.
Eric, you're an admin, right?
Think
you can see who's.
You
can see who's calling in, right, Eric?
I've got to back out. I've got to back out, guys. Okay. My dinner's ready.
What's up, Spicoli?
All right. Well, if Seeker's still here, and hopefully he's not having any matrix issues with his connection.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm sure you would be honored to have him contribute to tonight's discussion if he's interested.
Seeker was in the show with me earlier when we were talking about this too. Anyone's more than welcome to call in. However, look, let's get past this though. Let's look at how's this going to play out. Here's what I think. There's a few different scenarios, okay? One, they discuss a ceasefire, and they will probably have to give up the Donetsk and Luhansk regions no matter what. And they come up with some kind of deal where Ukraine won't join NATO. I don't think Zelensky will be up for stepping down because that will give Putin what he wants, right? Trying to change that government. Or the Ukrainians just fight it out and wear the Russians down, have it cost them a substantial amount of money and a big loss of life. And the whole world, which is currently condemning Russia, other than China, Iran, and Kazakhstan and Belarus, I think. So they're going to continue this, and it's going to go on for months. And at some point, Putin's going to have to come to a decision. Okay, do I keep this up, or do I back out and keep those two regions? Because I think those are Russians no matter what now. And take the loss. I don't think Putin's going to take the loss. Putin can't take a loss right now. He can't. He's too far into this. If he just went into the two regions that he annexed, a whole different scenario. But he is now driving to the capital. He's got a 40-mile-long convoy, and he's loaded for bear. He's coming after him. He's got a city that has a population of 3 million people, and they've only had 400,000 that have fled. Think about that.
You know, with that big ass convoy that he's got going there, I don't know what kind of air support he has over it, but I mean, it looks like a sitting fucking target for the Ukrainian Air Force.
Yeah, so they said that even though Russia hasn't been able to gain air superiority yet, it's still very difficult, I guess, to hit those targets if you're Ukraine. I think because the sheer number of planes that Russia has, you got to worry about fighting them. I think that once that we are able to get weapons in, if we're able to get those weapons into them, that's probably what they're going to go after. Here's what Putin's probably going to do, though. He's probably going to surround that city, choke it off, and starve those people to death, or try to. It's what the Germans did to them at Stalingrad and Leningrad.
But it didn't work, though.
Oh, he killed 20-some million Russians. It worked pretty damn well.
Yeah, but they never gave it up, though.
Yeah,
they never gave up.
Yeah, but they got frozen. The winner is what beat the Germans, not the Russians. Okay.
Yeah, well, because the Russians are prepared for that winter.
Exactly. Yeah, but this wouldn't make no difference. You don't have. It's already the winter time. Hell, it's getting warmer. They can wait out as long as they want.
Isn't there a no-fly zone?
No, thank God.
Somewhere there's a no-fly zone, not over Ukraine.
Over Russia. There's a lot of
countries.
Yeah, a lot of companies have gotten together and restricted some of their flights from flying over Russia.
Yeah, but no-fly zone has different meanings.
And I would imagine. And I would imagine the fly zone over Chernobyl is probably
little countries. There's a lot of little smaller countries around the Ukraine that have, or some of them may have, the no-fly zone, and that fucks them up, because when you brought up the point, they had that 50-mile long convoy that was like back in, I don't know if it was the first Gulf War or second Gulf War, where we just fucking demolished them.
In both of them,
we shredded them to fucking shit.
Yeah, that was both of those wars. But the no-fly zone doesn't apply right here. So the no-fly zone I think you're referring to is what – it's so funny because CNN wants there to be a no-fly zone. Think about this. Putin says, oh, my nuclear force is on high alert. You watch CNN, and that's their headline, right? And their solution to that is to have the United States put up a no-fly zone in Ukraine. So you just want to start a fucking war between us and Russia? A no-fly zone consists that they can't fly their military jets around there, which means if they do, we're going to shoot them out of the sky. The moment we have a jet shoot a Russian jet down, we are at a full-scale war, and it's a world war at that point. Okay? You can't have a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Russia is at war, just like we were in Iraq and Afghanistan. Right? What do you think we would have done if Russia started shooting our jets out of the sky?
It's just different than that, man.
Well, it's different because it's more heated.
I think Russia's going to turn around and start shooting every passenger jet that flies over Russia down.
Yeah. Well, they stopped the flights out. A lot of people have stopped flights out of Russia.
Yeah.
And
it could be a World War III, and I hope it doesn't turn into that, man, because this could really, really, really get fucked up.
Yeah, it could. It could. One mistake absolutely could. That's why we don't need to worry about it.
Your family and everything else could really, really.
Well, Jester's got enough food for everyone here.
Be fucked up from it.
Yeah. And Jester in Kentucky got enough food for everyone.
Guys.
Well, and I know.
Go ahead,
well,
guys.
and I know that there's also concerns about the Chernobyl site too, which I know they would have to keep a no-fly zone over that.
No, they don't.
Of, like what happened back in
1986. They overtook it already.
Yeah, they took it already. They got that thing the first day, within a couple hours. That was the first thing they took over.
One of their main targets.
Russians got it. The Russians have it.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Raccoon.
Yeah, something you also have to remember, too, to go after a convoy, half of them trucks are going to have air defense weapons already on them, ready to go.
Yeah.
And most of that shit's computer generated. So if it don't have the right coding on it, on that plane, it'll drop it.
Yeah.
That doesn't count don't count their daggone 12.5 millimeter machine guns they're going to have on them trucks too.
GP, man, thank you for bringing that up. Sorry, Raccoon. I didn't mean to interrupt you. GP, man, brought up a good point. So I watched something not long ago about world's most dangerous prisons, and they had one in Ukraine. And I was thinking, I said, what are they doing with the prisoners with all this? And he just said that they're releasing them to join the fight.
Are they really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter at that point, right? Hell, everyone's got a gun to protect themselves. You might as well let them fight.
They should, man. That's some hardcore shit. I've seen documentaries in the Ukraine and Russia, here, there, and the other, man. They're nothing like what they are here in America.
Some of the worst prisons are in Russia.
Yeah.
They know how to treat their prisoners bad.
Yep, and most of them are in there for no reason. Well, they think there's a reason. Political
prisoners, basically.
That's a big point. That's a good point, man.
Well, that's where they supposedly arrested, 4,000 people for protesting the war. Here's the thing. When you read the headlines, like I brought the Taz, right? And I found that article, by the way. When you read the headlines of Russian news, I think a lot more people in Russia are in support of this war and what's going on because this is all they're seeing, right? It's no different than our news preaching to us about whatever we see, right? We're basing it off of what we're hearing being reported to us. A lot more people are in support of this war than what the news is letting on over in Russia. I can guarantee you that right now. Here's the other thing.
You have to win the hearts and minds of your own people to get the support to go ahead with it.
Yep.
That's what both sides are trying to do.
If you read the headlines, you can see that they're trying to do that. Here's this one, though, that's scary. This is a scary thing, though. The title of the article, it says, now this is, again, Russia's main news source. It says, Russia cannot but react to risk Ukraine may go nuclear. Lavrov. So that Lavrov is he's their UN delegate, or he's the damn it, he's like their main guy for foreign relations stuff. The article says Russia cannot but react to the real risk of Ukraine obtaining nuclear weapons. Oh my God, who does that fucking sound like? And it has been taken.
Yeah.
It has been taking every measure to prevent this. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said in a video address to the disarmament conference. He stressed that Ukraine's side's irresponsible statements regarding plans for obtaining nuclear weapons were not a bravado. Ukraine has Soviet nuclear technologies and delivery vehicles. We cannot but react to this real danger. I can promise you that Russia, as a responsible member of the international community determined to adhere to its WMD non-proliferation commitments, has been taking every measure to prevent Ukraine from laying hands on nuclear weapons and related technologies. Lavrov said Russia hoped that everybody is aware of the need for addressing this problem. In his statement...
So is this
Go ahead.
Is this a pretext to them saying basically if a nuclear weapon goes off, it wasn't them?
So this is them today. This was written, okay? This is them basically justifying why they are on high alert. The nuclear force is on high alert. This is the news justifying it to the Russian people.
Well, it could be also justifying a nuke possibly going off.
Yeah, Ukraine. That's why I said that's a scary article.
Let me give you a little insider here, okay? When Russia went down as the USSR, you know that 1/3 of their nuclear stockpile came up missing? The damn units were selling them to the highest bidders.
Why do you think the Chinese?
They probably already have them in Ukraine. They just ain't saying anything.
Well, Ukraine had 1,200. Ukraine had 1,200. Ukraine was forced to give them all up.
Yeah,
we forced them to give them all up.
Well, they're supposed to give up what they found.
Yeah,
okay. That place has been tunneled out for centuries.
Yeah,
from mining and everything. It doesn't, you know, I used to sit on DMZ and watch them pull out these big cannons that were on rails that the North Koreans have. We don't know if they can use them or not, but the little guys were running all over these damn big ass guns, which had to be at least 6-foot diameter bores, walking into them with brushes.
Oh yeah, have you seen the one the Germans?
Came out.
That's the reason they
these were completely different from what the Germans had. This is bigger than the Germans had.
Really?
These things were humongous. And they hit them in a mountain. For all things, they hit them in all the mountains along the DMZ.
Well, the Germans had that one on the train that took them so long to put together, but that thing was massive.
Yeah, that thing was humongous.
That's not the largest gun in the world anymore. When North Korea started making those, they made 51 of them. One of them blew up, which probably they'll all blow up if they fire. I mean, and like I say, they're probably there as showpieces because every time they roll them out, we got guys from the EMI battalion up there taking telescopic pictures of them. And then we get to see a few of the pictures every now and then. You see these guys standing in the bore and their heads clear it. They're not bent over. Of course, North Koreans aren't really all that tall. You know, some
like
of them
5'2" or something like that. I think is their average height. Yeah.
Yeah, the threat is there.
Oh yeah.
The threat is all it is. And that's what nuclear war is about. Threats. Ukraine's most likely got some. We have them and we fly them around the world. We float them around the world. And a lot of our aircraft are equipped to carry them.
Yep.
Okay. If they say, somebody blew a small, what they call wartime nuclear weapons, which is a small nuke that will take out a large area of a concentration. But not gigantic enough to take out a whole city, just like maybe vaporize the block nukes, and not the whole town. Yeah, tactical nuke. Those things, we have them in our arsenals, and we carried them around. We carried them to the goddamn Middle East when we went over there for Desert Storm.
Well, have you seen what the Russians dropped yesterday? That vacuum bomb. Have you seen those videos?
Yeah, parabolic bomb.
Yeah, thermobaric. Yeah. Ooh, that's a badass bomb right there. And when you read about what it does, well, so that's what matters, right? Context matters on that. For those of you that don't know what it is, it's a highly explosive weapon, obviously, right? It creates the blast. All right, it focuses on the blast. Damn it, what's the freaking word I'm thinking of for it? The damn blast, the freaking shockwave. Yes, it creates a shockwave, and it's meant and can be used to like clear an area. They said, like if you have an area of a bunch of trees and you need LZ, you put that down and it'll completely clear it because it sucks the oxygen out and catches everything on fire, just disintegrates everything in that area. But they dropped it really close to a population yesterday, and they're worried that he's going to start dropping these because he dropped 2 of them. They're worried he's going to start dropping these on the cities. If he does, you're going to see a major death toll in Ukraine.
These thermobaric bombs, are they similar to like a fuel air bomb?
I don't know.
It's kind of like it's what it does is it pulverizes the shit out of everything, and whatever is pulverized gets set off by the daggone gases that run through it.
And it's called a vacuum bomb because it sucks the oxygen away.
Yeah.
And
sucks the oxygen back into it just like a regular atomic bomb would suck back in. It does that, and it brings it all back to the center, and then it goes up in its cloud and everything. That parabolic bomb, if you look on there and look on YouTube, they got a really good one. It was a declassified picture or a stolen movie of the test of the Tsar bomb. TSAR bomb.
Yeah. And by the way, Jester,
identical to it.
Jester, I was right. It is Tsar Bomba. BOMBA is how it's actually spelled. Just Jester was making fun of me the other day when I said that. It's Tsar Bomba is the name of the bomb.
Yeah. Tsar Bomba. Now that looks exactly like that bomb going off, except it shows it in a tree line, in outside of that one city. It's like, holy crap, what was that?
Yeah.
It's identical to it.
Raccoon, I have a video on YouTube. It was of a civilian in Ukraine that had videotaped this bomb going off, right? And he sees it, he gets the shockwave, he runs behind the corner, then he comes back and he shows the after, like, the explosion, and how high it is. It's not like a nuke, not that big. It's way bigger than our Moab that we dropped over in the Middle East. Way bigger than that. But the difference between this one and a nuke is it doesn't have the radiation fallout. So that's why they're saying that it can be just as destructive if they used it properly, or they can make it bigger, but it doesn't have the radiation. So right now you're hearing that he's going against the Geneva Convention, which to me is the biggest joke I've ever seen. If you're going to war, you're going to kill people. What's the freaking matter the way you kill them? Right?
Well, the Geneva Convention was a bunch of people got together and they put up rules of the game, just like they did in the Revolutionary War. Don't shoot the officers, and we killed them anyway.
Yeah, we were. That's where we went against that and created guerrilla warfare.
See, that keeps them from taking and unleashing a chain gun on a group of soldiers.
Yeah.
Okay. Putting a 30 millimeter in there and waxing a bunch of guys. That's what the Geneva Convention was basically for. You have to use metal jacketed bullets. You can't use hollow points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should be able to use.
I'll tell you right now, they do use hollow points because that's what snipers usually use when they're trying to hit a target within an inch of their space. It's also that you're supposed to treat your casualties and your prisoners with a certain amount of dignity, which the Japanese never did. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff in there. Okay, you can't kill the goddamn medics because they're here to help the wounded prisoners.
You know what? We have tried to make war polite, and it's not polite.
Exactly.
And this is coming from someone who knows nothing about it, right? I've never been there, but I can tell you right now, if people are dying, it's not polite. Okay, maybe there's certain things you can do that can help.
War is not a polite job.
Exactly.
Either.
It's not polite. It's not meant to be polite. Now, I'm not saying we need to go start just letting things, bombs drop over Baghdad here. But if you, my dad brought up a good point. He doesn't think Putin has the money to fully go at this invasion. If you look at the difference, if anyone has not seen the shock and awe video, when we went and bombed Baghdad after Bush gave him a 24-hour ultimatum, and we did Operation Shock and Awe. Go watch that compared to what Russia did to Kiev. It is not even in the same realm. We blew Baghdad to shit. Russia couldn't dream of doing what we did to Baghdad. It is the most impressive thing when you go watch. And our bombs we were dropping were way bigger than what they were dropping in Kiev. And they've had some big ones. Like you saw the one that hit Kharkiv today, hit the civilian building and blew it all to shit. We were dropping ones like that everywhere in Baghdad. And when you went and you looked at the aftermath, they didn't hit hardly any civilian targets. They hit exactly what they wanted to hit. Russia can't hit shit. They keep hitting civilian targets and maybe some other. I don't think they have the technology.
I don't know about that, Mike. Mike, I don't know about that because
a lot of civilians died.
Russians are pretty damn good bombers. They know what they're doing when it comes to running their airplanes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys take a lot of. I've talked to a couple pilots who are not pilots anymore. They came to the United States. He said they practiced constantly with the best munitions they had, and they were equivalent to the American bombs that they use during Desert Storm. And these guys, they retired out back in 2004 or 5, came to America. But the thing of it is, see, when you have a superpowers don't sit around and twiddle their thumbs at the local pub talking about what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Them guys go out there and they play it every day that they have to. And they say, okay, we're going to have to practice this today. And I want you to hit every one of them targets.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go out there and try their damnedest to hit every one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few things that are better than them, but they got a few things better than us.
Oh, yeah. Well, this bomb, I don't think we used this bomb. That vacuum bomb, they came out with that first. After we did the Moab, they came out and declassified that as a one-up.
What makes What makes you think they did? We don't have the same damn thing, though. I mean,
I think we do.
We sell them our secrets. They sell us their secrets. Just like with goddamn China, they got the same shit we got now. But
China really bothers you.
Quality?
China really bothers you because there wasn't no secrets being sold. They sold that shit to them out in the open. China would not have gone to space if it wasn't for us. Bill Clinton gave them the rockets and the technology.
Secrets. And the Chinese were buying them for pennies on the dollar. But the thing of it is see, the battle doesn't happen until you have your ground forces on the ground mopping up everything and see what the is. I mean, we got satellites that can probably burn shit up, which has been said to have those.
Now,
but the thing of it is, every damn country is a same stuff.
Yeah. So think about this though, because someone's like, "Oh, well, we could just shoot their missiles out of the sky." And I was watching something the other day. Now we do have technology that can shoot missiles out of the sky, but we can't just stop every nuclear bomb that's going to be sent over here. And I say that because if we could, do you think we'd really be worrying about starting a war with Putin right now? Fuck no. If we confidently could do that, we would not be as worried as we are with staying out of this conflict.
Here's the thing, though, Mike. We're already sold off. They have to get rid of the American people so the exchange can be made. They don't want us. They want our freaking land to grow for their own slaves they already have programmed. They've been programming them for fucking 5 generations now. The American people are the ones that are standing in the way of every damn plan that everybody has for a new world order or communism worldwide or whatever you want to call it. But until we fall, the rest of the world is staying in this limbo game of we're fighting our own governments for our rights back. We're the only country that hasn't given up so many rights. Some of them have been swindled from us. They can never pass shit here in the United States for the last 6 years because Congress can't get off their ass to have anything signed in that will actually make a difference to us.
Well, they have more incentive to keep the status quo.
They pass is what goes against everything we stand for.
Yeah,
they're trying to win. They're trying to win a war of attrition here by taking out people the best way they know how, which is starve them or get them sick or feed them bad food and have them all die off in the whole damn town.
Well, they'll do it legally and financially, right? Here's the thing. Once they get rid of the guns, it's over.
They're doing it so they don't have that bit of consciousness that says, I shouldn't have done that. They don't give a rat's ass about people. Our politicians are self-proclaimed rulers. They think they're kings and queens. They don't look at us as the people they serve
as equals.
They look at us as what can we do to you today?
Yes. They think they're better and that they're above us, and they forget to realize that they are one of us. Okay? They're equal.
And you also forget that they work for us.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the key to it.
Well, that's the biggest thing, right?
They don't have power unless we give it to them.
And
they swindled the power.
Well, you're not even overstating the fact that they forget that they don't work for us. Biden said that himself, right? I don't work for you. Yeah, bullshit.
Nancy Pelosi even said it herself.
Whether or not I voted for you or not, you work for me. I pay your salary. Me, along with 300, well, not 330, but a lot of Americans.
150,000 or 150 million.
It's not the majority, I can tell you right now. But
yeah.
But it's neither here nor there. They still work for all 330 American citizens. No matter who they voted for. You're there. You won based off of our Republic voting system, which I 100% support. But you need to not... I'm not going to agree with everything politicians do, but do not ever forget that you are equal to me. Okay? You are not better than... No one is better than anyone in this world, honestly. We had this thing like, oh, and honestly, it's been generational. Like over in Europe, they had all the monarchs. The royalty, they were so good. Fuck the monarchs. That's why we don't do that shit here.
Yeah.
Okay? That's why we fought a war like Ukraine is doing against Russia right now. Okay? And honestly, if I was president, when this whole Russia-Ukraine thing ended, let's say Ukraine just whoops Russia's ass with American technology, like they're doing right now. And I would say, if you want more American support from here on out, then you need to maintain the right for your civilians to bear arms. You've done a good job. And I said this on the show. I said we shouldn't help anyone until they allow their citizens to help themselves. Damn it, if Ukraine isn't doing that. And I praise them for them. And every American should look at that and say, wow, that's why we have the Second Amendment. That's literally half the reason. The other half is so the government doesn't fucking do it to you. Your own government.
Something to also keep in mind, Mike. They sent over a bunch of Kalashnikovs. Where did they come from?
Russia.
They've been hoarding them here in the United States on every freaking military reservation for shit like this, so they can use them. Because you don't want to send over M16s over to them and they run out of ammunition and we can't get them ammunition. Give them the same damn thing the Russians are shooting. That way they can pick up the shit on the battlefield.
Well, have you seen what they've done? They were going through those things.
Their grenades are Russian grenades. Their weapons are Russian small arms weapons, all the way down to the pistols. They're not sending them Glock 19s.
Yeah.
Sending them standard pistol issues.
They're not sending them NATO weapons.
Body armor.
Yeah, they're sending them Russian weapons, not NATO weapons.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, like their air defense systems and the bigger stuff, that would be NATO. That would be ours. Like I said, because that goes back to what I said about our defense contractors. They want that shit there because they want to see how well it works against the Russian jets and Russian armor, right? Like they're sending them the what's the tank round we use, the famous one? It's a fire and forget round, right? That's what they brought was the big deal with it.
Yeah.
Stingers.
The javelin.
Yeah, the javelin or the sting. Yeah, whatever one it was. We're sending them.
Oh, they're having a fucking field day right now, dude.
They're like, yeah, it's working.
Yeah. Oh, what they say? 800 armored vehicles have been taken out. Jesus, if that's true, that's just freaking unreal. That should scare Putin. Like, do not fuck with that, Putin.
If you see pictures of armored vehicles that have been shot up, make sure you look at what the designators are on them. It's not just a scribble. If it's a V, it's a NATO alliance vehicle.
Okay.
If it's an X, it's a Russian vehicle. Okay, Russia,
painting on there,
along with everybody else in a war like that, have to have their flags on the damn vehicles.
Well, yeah, you want to be able to
What's with that?
Some of the ones that they showed that were blown up had Ukrainian flags on them. They said were Russian.
What's that, Kentucky?
Had the V on them. One helicopter, Russian helicopter, had a V on it. I seen that. I go, that's a Ukrainian helicopter.
Yeah. What's that?
That
Kentucky?
wasn't a Russian helicopter.
The Z that all these Russians are painting on the side of their fucking tanks. What the fuck is that Z for even?
That is so they can see that at night through their night vision or their thermal imaging, because that paint throws off a register.
That makes sense.
We had it on ours in Desert Storm. I mean, first time I got to see a pair of an IR scope actually, and I looked at the vehicles and I could see the damn V's on the doors and shit. I go, wow, this is cool. That's what those are for, so you don't shoot your own shit up. It's like I said,
nighttime.
Yeah, that's like I said, when you're running through a doorway, if you don't have your damn weapon right, you're going to shoot the guy in front of you, and maybe the other guy in front of him.
Yeah. Now I will say,
you don't make that misfire.
Yeah. Look, if Russia's losing the kind of people and vehicles that they say they're losing, I looked it up. We lost 24 jets total the entire Iraq campaign. It was, sorry, not the entire Iraq campaign, but from 2003 to 2009. 24. They apparently had 15 shot down the first day. We lost, 130-something helicopters. Helicopters are probably a little easier to shoot down. But we lost in Iraq. I don't know how many the Soviets have lost, but I guarantee you it's a substantial amount. How many tanks did we lose in Iraq the second time? Not many, right?
Probably about 10.
Yeah, and we lost 4,500 soldiers that got killed in 20 years. That's between both Afghanistan and Iraq combined, 4,500.
Yep.
The Russians, Ukraine, again, I don't know how accurate this is, but Ukraine is claiming to have killed over 5,000. And this is killed, not captured. This isn't counting that number. This was killed. 5,000 Russian soldiers in 5 days. You realize they had more. They said they killed 3,500 the first day. That's more than there were Americans that died on Omaha Beach. About 1,000. That it probably be close to the first day of the invasion of Normandy numbers. Like, that's just insane, if that's true.
Something else to keep in mind, Mike, is when they're giving you statistics, if it comes from a government official, 9 times out of 10, it's bullshit. You know how many people we lost before the damn invasion in Desert Storm, waiting for 6 freaking months in the desert?
Probably a lot.
You know how many we lost to simple shit like vehicle rollovers?
Yeah.
And goddamn guys falling down and getting their damn backs broken and dying and shit.
Yeah.
We lost 78 people.
Mm-hmm. Well, what'd they say? They said more SEALs die in training than they do in battle now?
Yeah. Yeah. But see, we were sitting around there and people were going a little stir crazy, doing stupid shit, and they end up killing themselves or getting killed by their buddy doing some crazy shit.
Well, and you're training with a dangerous equipment.
Storm,
accidents about
most of them were shot by our own forces. One of them in particular was 2 goddamn APCs got hit by a damn chopper.
Well, look at Pat Tillman.
Okay, one of our own Cobra, or one of our own.
Look at Pat Tillman. Look at Pat Tillman. What happened to him? He was shot by friendly fire.
Yeah,
and they lied about it.
But what I'm saying though is, think about this for a minute. 24 guys got basically vaporized in 2 APCs by an Apache helicopter with 2 damn missiles. And the guy who was driving it wasn't even supposed to be in the damn aircraft. It was the battalion commander for that unit. The guy who was in the chopper was not supposed to be flying, but he decided he was going to do it. He went out there, visually got the wrong shit in the scope and fired on it without looking because he wasn't trained well enough. And he nuked 2 goddamn APCs full of damn infantry.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit happens. But as far as them saying they lost 8 or they've killed 8,000, well, you know, lo and behold, it might be only 100.
Yeah.
And they were probably all in the wrong place at the wrong time, off course.
Well, they captured a whole regiment.
Ambushed.
They captured a whole regiment.
So they say. So they say. Have you seen an?
Well, they had videos of the
regiment.
They had videos of it.
Did they show you the regiment, or did they just show you half a dozen people?
Well, I just know that was half a dozen.
That's
people,
what I'm saying. See,
I get what you're saying. I'm just
saying
this. I know.
They play this. I mean, we captured a whole damn regiment on the side of a hillside in Desert Storm. You know what they did? They knew they were outgunned. They were damn dying from starvation. They walked down to us in a goddamn formation. You seen a rectangle coming down the damn hillside. They came down open ranks, sat on the ground, emptied their pockets out, and sat there.
If you weren't a bunch of pussies, you would have shot them like the Japanese.
If they had any problems.
I'm kidding. Did you hear me?
No, I'm serious.
I know.
You know,
I said if you weren't a bunch of pussies, you would have shot them. I'm kidding. No.
Yeah. If we wanted to be China, we would have shot them just like goddamn Chosun Valley, you know.
Yeah, or the Japanese.
But the whole thing of it is they're not telling us everything because they want to win our hearts and minds. Oh, I feel sorry for them. Oh my gosh. Just think of the freaking leaders they have. They have scum leaders just like we have. They have scum agencies just like we have. Why? Because we taught them a democracy. That democracy destroys every damn thing it touches.
Yeah. Let me clarify though on
your
this.
wages by demanding you pay.
Let me clarify what you mean though, because you're not criticizing democracy as far as like what people actually think. You're saying we have a republic in the United States, which works great. Democracies don't work as well as the republic. We are not communists on the show. I need to clarify that though, Raccoon, for people that are going back and watching the show while you're sitting here going off on democracy.
Is communism. When you have mob rule, you have communism.
Yeah. So we have
republic is a different status, and we have wiped them for years.
Thanks for
because of the fact that they wanted a democracy where they could rule over us and demand us to do everything.
So, Class 1, I appreciate the gift. Thank you so much. Eric's saying we have about 3 minutes. It's telling me I have about 7 minutes left, but I'm going to go ahead and cut it off, okay? I'm going to go watch a little bit of this shit show State of the Union address if it's still on, and then I may do a follow-up show unless someone else is doing a show, because I do think this is a great discussion. I'm going to cut it off on Facebook. I'll be back on tomorrow, 6 o'clock Central Time. I'm pretty sure I'll be on. So I appreciate people on Facebook tuning in.